Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. On this week's episode, we're completing our trek through Carnarvon Gorge. If you missed last week's episode, I'm going to drop a link in so you can go and watch it first. But in the meantime, go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up, come and join Ali and I for the next 20-30 minutes or so as we continue our adventure. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? This would be far better in North Queensland with a few crocodiles snapping at your heels. Okay, almost back to where we started from. We're at the Moss Garden, or we're heading down the track to the Moss Garden. We've got a 650 metre walk in. And this is our last stop for the day before we head back to the information centre. While we're on the track into the Moss Garden, I thought I'd just jump in and say, of the different attractions we've been to today, this has probably been the most difficult walk in. It's not an impossible walk. I think if you've got a medium level of fitness, you wouldn't have too many dramas. There's a lot of steps to negotiate and the path gets a little bit narrow in some places, but the reward at the end is definitely worth the walk to get out here. One of the things that Al and I invested in a couple of years ago, and they're well worth it, is a good set of hiking boots.
Yes.
We went to Anaconda and bought some Merrells on special. Here they are. Ooh. They're very comfortable, but it is important to get a good set because it supports your ankles and things when you're walking.
Yeah, no,
so if you do a little bit of a sideways slide there, it seems to support it quite well. And these are quite good, aren't they?
They are a good brand.
Very comfortable.
We just got them, I think, the like Boxing Day sales.
Yeah, it was cheap. But just to give you a quick look, that's the condition after about 5 or 6 years use now, and we use them quite regularly. So
they went to Europe in 2018.
They've been all over Europe. They're quite slippery though in London. Anyway, that's the cobblestones for you. So here we are, we finally made it into the Moss Garden. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you in a minute. You'll see that there's water running down through the rocks up to the green line where the moss is. So you can see along the top there's a green line, all the moss forms below. And the water that you see running down is a result of rainfall that happened up on the plains above us, probably about 100 metres up or so, that seeped down through the rocks over thousands of years. So this is rain that fell here maybe 2, 3, 4,000 years ago, which is pretty bloody hard to imagine. I've got to say, that's probably the best filtered water you'd ever drink. What do you think of the Moss Gardens, El?
Oh, beautiful. I forgot how lovely they were, to be honest.
They're very hard to explain. It's certainly something you need to come and see, just the way that the water comes down through the rocks. And as I said before, you can see that very distinct line where the water doesn't come from. So it's everything that comes through below it. And to think thousands of years since this rain fell is just hard to imagine. Native Pathfinder this time, so make sure she gets, there she goes, she's on. Good work, Al.
No, it was a good work. I'm happy to see the end of it.
Yeah, we said that last time we'd done it. We still bloody done it again. But it's well worth it. There's some great things to see as you come along. One more obstacle to go. Our final river crossing. I don't know whether we swim it or we just walk across it.
I don't know how good. We're both a bit tired, so we'll probably end up in the drink.
Yes, anyway. We're going to do, from here we're going to head back to the caravan and we're going to continue on back by popular request, I might add, well at least by my nephew Liam, Steve's cooking segment. We're going to try our hand at a little bit of sushi.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
here we go.
Let's get back to the van. Well, welcome back to Cooking with Steve. Now I need to make a disclaimer at the start. I don't guarantee that this is going to be any good, but I'm willing to give anything a crack. So I said to Alison recently, what do you want to change up? What do you want to do for lunch that might be a little bit different? She said, do you want to have a crack at sushi? I thought I've never ever cooked it before, but I've eaten it. So we bought ourselves a sushi kit, this one here, and I'm going to give it a crack. Now, I do have a qualified judge of this, and here she is right here. Tell me how long you lived in Japan for, Al?
14 months.
There you go. So that is my qualified judge.
I know how to make it from scratch.
There you go.
I could have bought the recipe with you.
We'll hold it for that at some point in the future.
Oh,
but today we're going to get on with the sushi kit. So first things first, all I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the directions exactly. That way, if I screw it up, I've got someone to blame.
You.
I'll tell you what, that's not bad value. We paid, I think, about 11, 12 bucks for this. Inside the box, you get your rice. You get a mat roller to roll your sushi rolls. You get some seasoning powder there, wasabi, soy, and some nori. And the other thing that we have, because we go to sushi a bit, is somewhere in our fridge, and of course I can't find them when I look for them, we have ginger as well, so we'll have that a little bit later on. And we've also bought some ingredients that will fill it, but we're going to keep it pretty simple today. We'll do a few prawn ones, and I think we're going to do some tuna and a couple of vegetarian ones, which would be like cucumber, spring onion, that sort of gear. But once again, with these sorts of things, and what I read on the box, you can put whatever you like inside. Step number one is just rinse your rice. So throw your rice into a big pot, rinse it 2 or 3 times just until the water that's coming off it is clear. Once that's been done, then add 600 mils of water and place it onto your stove and start cooking it. The rice is cooled, so I'm going to put a bit of rice in the middle just to hold everything down here at the middle. And then it says to spread it around so it's within a centimetre of the edges. I know you're going to be getting a job at the local sushi restaurant anytime soon. Next, add your filling. So we'll do yours first, Al.
Okay.
So a bit of tuna in the middle. Avo. All right, let's go for a roll. Get it straight. Here we go. So it just says roll it and press firmly at the same time. Oh. Look at that. It's about 4 foot thick. So we know not to use that much rice next time.
It's not quite.
It's not quite there, but it's not bad for a first effort. We'll cut that bit off. Oh God, my knife could be a lot sharper. That doesn't roll properly, does it?
No, it hasn't.
We go the others. There we go. What do you think, Al?
You probably scored low on the presentation.
Ah, well. All right. Well, the proof's in the tasting anyway. Well, I'm not going to say, Alison, that I put on a sushi masterclass. I think I'll leave that for others to decide. What do you think?
Maybe a little bit more practice.
Maybe a little bit more practice, but as I said, we'll leave that to others to decide. But here's the finished product. After much toiling on how to use that sushi roller, I think we've come pretty close.
You did try after, yes, you stopped filming yesterday.
I've got to say, I think the only thing we're missing now is the little sushi train.
Add a little bit more practice.
All right. Well, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know what the critic thinks after we've had the taste test. 2 types of sushi rolls here. I've done some that have just got like spring onion and some cucumber and things through them. Avo. Avo, and the other one's got prawn and avo on it. You're having a prawn and avo at the moment, aren't you?
I am. It does taste nice. It does take practice. It's not as easy as you think it is sometimes. It is,
yeah. Look, so I couldn't get my ingredients in the centre. That was very, very difficult. And in the end, I've got to be quite honest with you, I just cracked the shits and just rolled them up.
He did.
But they taste good, and that's the important thing.
Bit more practice will be right.
Okay. Well, we've got another beautiful morning going on here at Sandstone Park in Carnarvon Gorge this morning. Ellie's just inside getting ready for the day. We're going to head off and check out a few swimming holes. Our first stop for the morning, or the first swimming hole we're stopping at this morning, is Rockpool.
Yes.
You'll find it on your way into Carnarvon Gorge. It's about a 300-metre drive down to the car park. Nothing serious down here as far as four-wheel drive or anything like it goes. And then it's just a simple walk down to the rock pool. This is one of the places that you can go swimming here in Carnarvon. We're pretty lucky at the moment because there's no one else here, is there, Al?
No, there's, well, no one in the car park.
No, well, except one kangaroo that we saw on the way back in. That was bad. Anyway, we'll take you for a walk down. We'll show you, but we're not going swimming today because it's too hot. No, it's
Gosh,
too cold.
It's a bit chilly.
It's very cold. All right, down we go. If you decide to come down, particularly in the summer, and spend the day here at Rockpool, it's an easy walk down. There's toilets on the way down, there's picnic tables, there's all those sorts of things. And I'm pretty sure, can you remember, Al, whether or not you could walk here from the caravan park, the Breezes Caravan Park that is? I think you can.
So, but it's been a while.
It has. Anyway, I'll drop in here whether you can or you can't. But I'm fairly certain that you could. Last time we were here, you could make this walk. But it'd be a fair walk to get up here, I'd say. Anyway.
I'd drive.
We'll continue down the rock wall. I think we're being a little bit noisy with our talking and our footsteps. But as you make your way down the track, if it's quiet and there's no one around, we've seen a lot of kangaroos and a lot of wallabies on our way down this morning. I'll see if I can grab one on the camera, but yeah, they're a little bit quick for me at the moment. Right, here's one, look, right there, little wallaby. He's just off in the woods, there he goes. You see those right through the gorge too, they jump out of the long grass and they scare the bloody Christ out of you. Alright, so when you come down, you'll find some picnic areas and things, and then just down in front of us here is the rock pool. Well, here we are, we've made it down to yet another creek crossing, haven't we?
Another creek crossing.
Plenty of opportunity here in Carnarvon Gorge to get your feet wet. We're at Rock Pool, as we said, and you can see that this is the creek. I think this is the one that runs down through the gorge, and it comes all the way down through and through here. And we just read a sign a second ago, and it just asks that if you come to places like this, don't build dam walls or try and make a bit of a swimming hole, because it changes the way that the creek flows and it upsets the natural inhabitants like the platypus that live around here, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, so anyway, we might get lucky and be able to see one this morning. It's pretty quiet. I'll need to shut up for a little while though. Yes. We're going to move off to a more quieter spot and just see what we see. So we'll get across this creek and hopefully not fall in, see if we can find a platypus. Okay, so this is the start of the actual swimming holes here. Looks like there's plenty of life inside. There's a lot of bloody crows hanging there at the moment, so you have to excuse their squawking in the background. Yeah, I don't think anything we're going to do is going to stop them. But you can follow this. This is the end of the form track here, so you can follow it down and around. You can see down in through there that there's plenty of other little areas that you can stop and get a private spot and go for a swim. Beautiful, isn't it, Al?
It is beautiful. It's changed. You can see where the water's come through.
Yes. So I was sort of on the right track, but I was totally off the right track. You can't walk to here from the Breezes Caravan Park, but you can walk to the information centre at the start of the gorge from here. So here we are here at the rock pool, and if you walk up that track 2 kilometres, and then I'll bring you out right at the start of the gorge walk.
Close.
Yeah, it was close.
You can walk somewhere from here.
You definitely can, all right. So we're going to walk back to the car park and we're going to head to Mickey's Creek. Well, next stop on the tour this morning is Mickey's Creek. We have no idea what's up here, do we?
No, we don't.
All we've seen is a sign that says Mickey's Creek 1.5 kilometres, so it's going to be a 3k turnaround. And we've seen a lot of cars parked here every time we've come past, so it must be something worthwhile. And it's quite a decent track to walk down to get there. So
far so good.
Just like yesterday when we walked through the gorge, it doesn't seem to matter where you walk in this area. You get glimpses of these just sheer cliff faces all around you all of the time. It's just a really beautiful thing to see, isn't it, Al?
It is quite spectacular.
It is.
You never get sick of seeing it.
No. So this is the track that takes you down to Mickey's Creek, and as I said, it's quite a well-defined one, so obviously there's something worth seeing at the other end of this trail.
Mickey's Creek?
Probably Mickey's Creek, yes. The walk into Mickey's Creek is absolutely beautiful, so even if we don't find a creek up here, it'll be well worth just the walk in the morning to come up along here. Heaps of palms and cycads and all those sorts of trees that you find quite commonly throughout Carnarvon Gorge are just dotted all the way up through the re-entrant here, or the creek line. Yeah, it's just beautiful to come and see Carnarvon Gorge, and you can clearly see down here there's lots of just diggings right through all of the creek line here. I can only think it's pigs. In fact, I'll be fairly certain it's pigs, although other than the rooting around there, I can't see any other evidence that they've been around here. Here's some more here, and you can see there's definitely footprints in there. I reckon they're definitely pigs now. Definitely.
Surprised the rangers haven't been onto it. Maybe
yeah, I suppose that's the thing.
program in place.
They could do. I've got a mate up in North Queensland I've known for a number of years now, old Marty. He'll know if they're pigs or not, and he's in the business of eliminating them. So yeah, you might even get a chance down here, Marty. You never know your luck. There's a beautiful little creek crossing. All the shade coming in from the canopy, just the sound of the water flowing through. So we've come up the track that takes you to Mickey's Creek, and we've come to an intersection. We're going to continue on and do Mickey's Creek Gorge first, so we'll head up there. Then on our way back, we'll go up and check out what's in, what is it? Warrambah Creek Gorge. It sounds pretty interesting. It's about 200 metres up there, so we'll save that for the end. So we're heading up to Mickey's Creek Canyon. On the way up, you pass a lot of big sandstone walls. Here's one here, but just judging by the size of the creeks that run down and through here, and by the debris that's on the ground, I imagine that when it's raining or in the wet season, or it's been raining up on the plains above, the waterfalls and the creeks through here would be absolutely spectacular to see. Alright, so we're going to head on up to the top of the gorge now to check out the top of Mickey's Creek. You can continue past the form track spot, can't you?
I believe so.
And there's a cave up there that you can go to. We won't visit that because there's a huge tour group that's just gone up there, and we don't want to be stuck in the middle of that scrum, but we'll take you up the end and show you what that looks like anyway. As we come further up into Mickey's Creek Gorge, the sandstone walls around us just get narrower and they get higher and higher. This is supposed to be some of the oldest sandstone deposits in the gorge. I suppose this is stuff that got pushed down millions of years ago when the gorge was formed. It's beautiful though. So we've come to the end of Mickey's Creek Gorge, or the end of the form track anyway. We won't go any further than this, but what a beautiful walk. So cool in here, and all the shade and the bird noises and just the enormity of the cliffs that surround you. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, gorgeous. Didn't know they had a gorge.
So a short walk from the intersection up on the main track, you come down to Warrambah Creek, and I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but that's the best I can sort of spit it out as. You walk in about, what, 200 metres now?
I think it's a 200 metre walk, yes.
Yeah, it's not too far, but it's a beautiful walk. It's well worth to come up here and do the little side shoot. Yeah, just another part of the gorge that, when you come right down to the bottom of the gorge as we are now, it's almost like it's prehistoric with all the plants and the way they grow up. I don't think the sun gets down here too often. Not by the looks of things anyway, but all the rocks are covered in moss, and there's some beautiful creeks. Even though the water's not flowing very much at the moment, it's still a beautiful thing to come and see. And just once again, I know I've said this 1,000 times in the video, I'm going to say it again, if you could only see the enormity of these sandstone cliffs that we're standing next to right now, you'd be absolutely amazed. They are spectacular. They must be at least 200 metres high. It's amazing. So when you come up to the creek to get to the canyon, you'll go past a sign that says end of the form track. There's a pretty well defined track from all the people that have walked over it before. When you get to the end, you'll get to this canyon walk, and the red hot tip we got is walk to the end because it's well worth the walk. So we'll go for a walk down, show you what it looks like. Alright, so we've come to a slightly harder place, so I'm just going to give Alison a handy up here because she's hurt her ankle. So just walk in close, babe, and then when you get up here, hug the rock and just grab my hand and we'll pull you across. Otherwise you'll be going for a swim. There you go. Up you come. Stay close to the wall.
Sorry. Thank you.
That's her warm up for Carajini. Also canyon, it's absolutely beautiful in here, isn't it?
It is beautiful. I don't know how well you're going to see. It's quite dark, actually.
Yeah, it is very dark. The only natural light you get is from up there. It's quite a bright sunny day outside today, but it's very cool in here, and there's just a nice cool breeze that blows down through the...
This is 11 o'clock in the day.
Yeah, but it's absolutely beautiful, and all the rocks are covered in moss, and as you can see, the creek meanders on. We could go a little bit further, but I don't think there's too much more to do, and we certainly don't want to get a wet bum, so we'll end it here. But if you come down, you want to adventure further, probably need to walk another 20 metres. Was it worth the walk up here?
Definitely. It was a wonderful surprise.
It is. I think once you get over the fear of getting your feet wet, you're quite happy just to walk through the inch or two of water that's here.
Yes.
It does make going a lot easier,
Yep.
although it does get a little bit narrower as you go up the gorge, and obviously the water gets a little bit deeper. We went as far as we were willing to go today, but speaking to a couple of other people that were up there, they said we only had to go about another 15 metres. But yeah, that was far enough for us.
It was for me.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to shoot back to camp, and what are we going to do?
I'm not sure. Probably a few admin things.
Yeah, a little bit of administration. We're moving again tomorrow, so we just need to make sure that everything's in order and ready to roll again. Well, last stop here at Sandstone Park. We've come up to watch the sunset. There's a communal area. You can come up, you can bring a few drinks. It's open every Thursday night. Sit up here, talk to other campers about your adventures in Carnarvon Gorge, and check this out. There it is. It's a bit bright, I know. Ellie's taken a few photos, but it's a beautiful place to come and sit. Well, the sun's starting to fade over the top of Carnarvon Gorge, and that's bringing us to the end of our episode. What did you think of our stay at Sandstone Park, Elle?
I quite enjoyed our time here at Sandstone Park. I liked being on top of the valley and looking down into the gorge and the beautiful nature, watching the sunset and sunrise. Oh
yeah, it's certainly a beautiful place. We spent 3 days here. Did you think that was long enough?
Yeah, it was a good amount of time to stay. We got to do a couple of days of walks, but just sit back and relax as well. So it is a good amount of time, but you could stay longer, definitely.
Oh, you definitely could. It's starting a little bit cold now, and I'm very happy because I got to pull my beanie out for the first time this year. Alison loves it.
It's a fashion icon.
Anyway, it is time for us to move on, so we're going to start to point the car towards Darwin. We've got a couple little stops we think you're going to enjoy along the way. But if you like today's episode, please make sure you hit the like button. If you've got any questions about Carnarvon Gorge or just our travels in general, please hit us up in the comments section. We love to see your feedback and answer your questions. And finally, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. It's going to help our channel grow. So we can try and bring you this sort of content every week. So on that note, you have yourselves a great week. We hope to see you next Saturday at 9 o'clock. See you later.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.